So one of the most common comments that I get on this channel in basically all of my videos are requests for reviews. So probably the biggest kind of source of traffic on this channel is Wacom alternative reviews. Anyone who's been in this channel for a while knows this. And the comments are always littered with people asking me, can you review this tablet? Or can you review that tablet? Or whatever specific tablet they've run across that seems really interesting. And 9 times out of 10, the answer that I want to give is, of course, I want to check it out because this is a topic that interests me greatly. However, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I have to say no, that I can't review this tablet. And the reason for that is because I don't have money. So let me explain how this whole kind of behind the scenes thing works when getting tablets on this channel for review. I'm not made of money. I don't buy the majority of the tablets you see on this channel. What I do is I'm actually just like you. I lurk on the internet and I try and look around and try and find some cool stuff. When I do find those cool things, now that I have this kind of platform that people like and come to looking for this kind of stuff, I will send an email to the vendor or the manufacturer saying, hi, I run this channel, I make these kinds of videos, and I would like to review your product. If you would like to see a review of it, would it be possible for you to send me a review unit? So I try and disclose in every video that I do if I've received a review unit or if it's something I've purchased personally. If I've gotten it from the manufacturer, I do my best to make a statement or a reference to that very early on in the video so you know that it's something I've gotten from the vendor as opposed to me going out and buying something myself. Because of course, as much as I try to stay as objective as possible, biases do seep in here and there. And I think I've done my best to keep that to a minimum, but I want to disclose it so people know where I'm coming from when I make these videos. Now, I've reached out to pretty much all the major brands at this point. I get tons of requests for tablets from Unova, tablets from Bosto, tablets from Palbro with the new Coast 10 and Coast 22, tablets from Monoprice. I've reached out to all of these companies. None of them feel like giving me review units. Either they don't have them, they're not interested, I'm not big enough of a channel for them to care, the list go on and on. But none of those manufacturers want to work with me. And if they don't want to work with me, and I have no money, I'm kind of shit out of luck in terms of getting a hold of that product and doing a review on it. In addition to those brands mentioned, there's a really interesting brand that I want to take a look at that I've also reached out for and they haven't responded to me, so I can't get a hold of it right now. It's a company called Cube, and Cube makes not tablet displays, but actual tablets, you know, like kind of like an iPad sort of thing. They make like Surface Pro competitors. They have, you know, full Windows tablets that have Wacom input on them so you can do drawing. And they're freaking great. They're super cheap. They run Core M CPUs and they got a good amount of RAM, SSDs. And a lot of people ask me, like, when they go to look at the pen displays, can this work without a computer? Like, is it a computer itself? And I always say no. And they're like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like a Surface Pro. I would love to take a look at those because that's like the same vein as this. It's a Surface Pro alternative. It's a, you know, Cintiq Companion alternative, and it's dirt cheap. They're like $400 or something. But I don't have $400 to swing. So the reason why so many people ask me, can you review this tablet, and I either don't respond or I have to respond no, is for this reason. I have to get these things through the manufacturers because my channel simply doesn't make enough money, and I don't make enough money in my day job to purchase these things at the rate that they come out and the rate that they're already on the market. So where does that leave the channel? I get tricklings of new products here and there. I'm reviewing the new Huion GT185. It's sitting right over there. I'm gonna edit it as soon as I'm done with this. But if you want to see more tablet reviews on this channel, which I'm sure a lot of you do because that's where the majority of my traffic comes from, I need help. I can't do it by myself. So I know buying a tablet from Bosto, from Unova, from whoever, without seeing any videos on it is a gamble. You never know if it's going to be good or not, especially for what specifically you're looking for. So here is my proposal to help out with this, to kind of make it easier for everybody, where everybody gets something. I want to have more videos on tablets on this channel because I'm really interested in the subject and I want to be like the de facto, the guy on YouTube that does this in addition to all the other kind of drawing and storytelling things that I want to do with this channel. Like, that's kind of a little niche that I saw and I wanted to conquer, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of like making some really high quality videos on these tablets. But I want to be the guy, which means I gotta look at everything, or as close to everything as I can. And right now, it's very difficult with no money and with limited interaction with the vendors. So I've had a Patreon for this channel for a long time. And before you go, oh, Patreon, just hear me out, okay, please? It's linked in the description. If you guys want to help, donate either continuously, so I always have some cash to kind of throw away and save up for new products to buy myself. What I would do with that is if it's on the Patreon, I would take polls whenever I get enough money to buy a product, and you guys would decide what gets reviewed next. So if you're interested in seeing a specific product reviewed, you can become a patron and you can tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I can do that. Another thing you can do is, instead of doing a monthly donation, if there's just one thing you're interested in, you can leave a one-time donation via PayPal and leave a little like note description what item you want this money to go towards. So if you're interested in like the Power Coast 10 and you give me $30 towards the Power Coast 10, I won't take that $30 and spend it on something else. I'll keep them all kind of separated and keep a running tally of how much money people have donated for that specific device. And as soon as I can afford it, I'll get it. I'll mention your names for you're the ones funding it, and that's great. And another thing I'd want to do if all these were going to be crowd-funded is that everything that's crowd-funded would not stay with me. As soon as the review's done, I would raffle them off to my patrons or anyone who's donated on PayPal. So let's say you guys end up giving me like $500 and I go take a look at Monoprez's new 22-inch HD monitor. As soon as I'm done doing it, it would go up for auction or raffle or whatever you want to call it. And anyone who's a patron or anyone who's donated via PayPal would get a chance to win that. And because this is a small channel, there probably won't be that many patrons in the beginning, which means you got a pretty good chance of getting free stuff. So you could actually, you know, if you give like $20 a month towards a $500 device and then win it, you're basically paying $20 for it. That's pretty cool. That way, it doesn't stay with me, it goes back into the community, which would be preferable for me, I think. So, yeah. Links are in the description to everything. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other ideas on how you'd like to help kind of crowdfund getting more of this stuff, because this stuff's still pretty expensive. Despite being way cheaper than Wacom, it's still a lot of money, and this is the best way I can think of making sure we all can see the coverage of the devices that we want. So, till next time, I'm Tommy Oliver. This is Rebel Pixels, reminding you guys we might be indie, but that doesn't mean that we're alone. Let's make some new stuff happen.